Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur ce 9e épisode du Let's Play Enderal. Donc la dernière fois on avait exploré les ruines de l'ancien Dotulgrad, si je le prononce bien, si je me souviens bien. On avait découvert une machine pyréenne qu'on va essayer de reconstituer grâce au Saint Ordre pour faire face à la purge. Donc apparemment la fameuse machine fonctionne avec les fragments de la pierre sigillaire qu'on a vu au début du dernier épisode, je crois. Donc là, on doit retourner voir Taranor à Enderal pour connaître un peu la suite des opérations.
This is too dangerous, whatever they want here. If we send spies and they get caught, Nehrim will see this as a provocation.
Poor people. All they did was invade a foreign country, and look how ruthless we are, sending spies in order to find out why they're here. We should be ashamed.
Save the sarcasm. We both know what I mean. You know my opinion, Tila.
I will consider it. You come at the right time, Prophet. Commander, explain the situation.
Of course, Grandmaster. Yesterday, we received word from one of our outposts in Duneville. One of the fishermen there saw warships anchoring on an island some miles from shore. And they bear the Nehrimese flag.
We have already sent scouts to confirm this, and it is true. The Nehrimese have invaded our land.
Mais c'est un acte de guerre, pourquoi ils feraient ça?
We have a suspicion. I suppose you know that the civil war in Nehrim has ended 2 months ago. And who won it?
Je ne sais pas. Qui?
The combined forces of the Northern and the Middle Realm, led by Taranor Coarek of Kabait. The Southern rebels and the remnants of the Creator's Temple have been destroyed, once and for all. Now Nehrim has been united under the banner of the Free People of Nehrim, how they like to call themselves, and this could be the reason for these warships.
Mais pourquoi? Pourquoi Nehrim risquerait une autre guerre, juste après en avoir fini une?
Because of this Coarek.
It is said that he helped Narathzul Aranthiel shortly before the Lightborn were slain. And while before that, he was an opportunist who changed his ideals as often as his underpants. It seems that his crusade with Narathzul converted him, so to speak. He has become a declared enemy of religion.
He also thinks of the death of the gods as the first step of many. And now he sees it his task to rid Vin of religion once and for all. Free the world from the scourge of faith. These are his words.
Though it is worth mentioning that his understanding of freeing includes mass executions and the burning down of temples.
Ouais,
He's a
sûr.
fanatic, and worse, his men worship him for it. What he wants is to found a new world, and his free people of Nehrim are supposed to be vanguard of it.
Qu'y a-t-il d'autre à savoir à propos de Taranor Coarek?
Not much. Or... yes, there is. He's a narcissist. I was surprised to hear that the banners of his free people are ornamented with a picture of his and an inscription saying, "Praise me."
Et donc laissez-moi deviner. Vous suspectez que ce Coarek est ici parce que les Andraléens pensent encore que les dieux sont vivants. Correct?
Correct.
What Coarek doesn't understand is that we're doing this to prevent a crisis.
Oui, et puis dire la vérité aux gens est hors de question.
Not before the High Ones have been stopped. The civil war on Kile, Nehrim, and Arazial shows what chaos such a revelation can cause. And we will not take this risk.
Et si nous expliquons nos motivations à Coarek, peut-être qu'il pourrait nous aider dans notre combat contre le cycle.
That is the problem. Pigast?
We believe that Coarek already knows about the cycle and the cleansing. And that he, how should I put it, wants it to happen.
What the fuck? On parle bien de quelque chose qui pourrait précipiter la fin de toute vie, hein.
I'm afraid so. I know how strange this sounds, but in a way it makes sense. For him, Enderal as the home of the Holy Order is the epitome of ignorance and stagnation. And we suppose he even knows that we are fighting these High Ones. But in his eyes, everything a paragon of the Old Order tries to prevent from happening must be something good. Maybe he even sees the High Ones as prophets of his new era. Who knows? Fanatics are unpredictable.
Right now, this is only an assumption, but we have to know.
En d'autres termes, nous devons espionner les nerhiméens.
Yes. Do you know what a silver plate is?
Non, je sais pas du tout. Est-ce que vous pouvez m'expliquer?
They are relics from Arctwend. What makes them unique is their power to transfer sound. Every plate has a counterpart, and if someone standing near one plate says something, the one standing near the other one hears it too. Our plan is to place 2 of the plates in their camp. That way we can sound them out without risk.
Et vous voulez que je m'occupe de ce dépôt, je suppose?
You, Firespark, and the mercenary, Dalvarek. However, you cannot travel to the island by ship. That would be too conspicuous.
We found out that the Pyreans had some kind of underground transporting system. Under-trains, that's what they called them. These trains connected the most important regions of the realm with each other, and thus probably also the temple on the island where Coarek's ships set anchor. If we can manage to find one of these trains, we could use them to get right to his camp. And, as it happens, we have information about a Pyrean temple in the Crystal Forest. One that is still intact enough for us to find a way into one of these trains.
D'accord.
The Living Temple.
That's how you call it, yes. But enough of the chit-chat. First of all, we need to find the gem that is used to open the gate of the temple. And I have a guess where we could find it. A village called Fogville, not far from the Whisperwood.
Bien. Quand partons-nous?
As soon as possible. Joseph the mercenary has already traveled to Fogville, and you should do the same.
Ah, il veut parler de
I
Jespar.
will meet you there.
So we are talking about accomplished facts, or what?
It is the only way. I'm sorry, Natara. Prophet, I'm counting on you. Find out why Coarek is here.
Bien sûr.
Blasted blistering blazes! What the heck took you so long?
Ouais,
We've been
ben,
waiting for ages.
disons que j'ai eu de la visite.
What matters now is that we find the gem that opens the temple doors. You two take care of that. I'll go ahead to the temple and inspect the gate. Any questions? No? Then beat it.
It helps to know what something looks like if you're supposed to find it. At least that's what I've been told.
I already told you that. A small red gem. If it's around here somewhere, and I'm quite certain it is, you should maybe search for it at the village treasury. Now get going. I'll see you at the temple.
Well then, let's start our glorious search, shall we? I suggest you take a look at the town hall. I'll check out the temple. Just call me if you find something.
D'accord.
Keep your chin up.
Je peux le questionner sur... Il est passé par où? Hey! Qu'est-ce que vous savez sur cet endroit?
About Fogville? Yeah, quite a lot actually. The story's always fascinated me. You haven't heard of it, I take it. What do you want to know?
Ben... Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Toutes ces armes de siège et ces navires. On a l'impression qu'il y a eu une guerre ici.
Yeah, and that's about what happened. How can I say this without going beyond the scope? The short version, the villagers lost their minds. It all started when they officially renounced Malthus and the righteous path. Then, more and more travelers started disappearing, and surprisingly, a lot of their corpses were found close to the village, dumped in the forest like slaughtered cattle. That was when the Order couldn't ignore this issue any longer and sent a division of guards to end the madness, whatever that's supposed to look like. But when these guards arrived, they were greeted by frenzied villagers. who were armed to the teeth and jumped on the guards like rabid dogs. Most of them were killed, but one made it back to the temple. Well, and that's almost the end of the story. When the guards returned, they were almost the size of an army, but still the villagers charged right at them. You can imagine the result.
Ouais. Et on a découvert si et pourquoi les gens de Bonneville ont tué ces voyageurs.
Yes, it was. It turned out they sacrificed them. Later, when the Order searched Fogville for what could have caused all this, they found a hidden hexagonal room in the temple, which looked like the Fogvillers built it themselves. It was strange. There were exactly 6 paintings, one on each wall, and they all depicted unholy scenes, whatever that may mean. Anyway, it seemed that the travelers were sacrificed there. Heck knows why.
C'est vraiment un drôle de village. Hein. Comment ça se fait qu'une poignée de fermiers et de chasseurs ait pu défier une division armée?
As I said, they were mad, and this is also how they fought, regardless of the consequences. Plus, this place isn't exactly easily charged. Just look at all the walls. It's almost a fortress.
Ouais, ça je suis d'accord. Et on a trouvé une explication à tout ça?
Well, the most common one is the proximity to the Whisperwood. We all know what these spores do to the human mind. So maybe unfavorable winds over several moons? Who knows? At least that's the official explanation. Some conspiracy theorists see a connection to the Butcher of Ark.
Ah bon? Vous parlez du tueur en série? Jael Tannerson?
Exactly. Strange guy, to say the least. You know, shortly before he killed himself, he left an autobiography. And even though the Order officially forbids owning it, there are collectors who established an entire cult around that Tannerson character. There's a lot of speculation going on about this entire myth, and some of it's quite bizarre and morbid if you ask me. Anyway.
Bon bah je retourne à mes recherches.
Keep your chin up.
Tiens. Ouais, oh, t'échappes pas. Oh. Alors. Bah ça va, c'est un coffre facile à ouvrir. Dit-il, en cassant son crochet. Oh. Pierre sigillaire du temple vivant. C'est parfait. On va pouvoir se la péter auprès de Jespar. Plus besoin de chercher Jespar, j'ai déjà trouvé ce qu'il faut.
That was quick. Any luck?
Et ouais. Les Brumevilliens l'ont caché dans une sorte de trésorerie souterraine.
Let me see. Yeah, that's it. Well, then I guess that means off to the temple. You ready?
Bah oui, on y va.
Good. Then lead the way.
Où est-ce qu'il faut qu'on passe? Ah mais c'est super loin. Oh. C'est joli ça.
And that's it. The Crystal Forest. Beautiful, isn't it? The temple should just be a few miles up the hill.
D'accord. Le commandant Eren a appelé ce temple le temple vivant. Pourquoi donc?
Oh, it's an old legend. Apparently this temple has some kind of consciousness, so to speak. That's also the reason for the weird vegetation around here.
Allons-y.
Yep.
Un temple vivant, doué d'une conscience. Qu'est-ce que c'est que cette histoire?
Ugh, blazes. Sorry. I know.
Oui, oui, tu sais pas chanter, mais aide-moi. Ah, il y en a deux. Il va falloir que tu m'aides, Jespar. Ça va, on se débrouille, on se débrouille.
Well, well, that was quicker than expected. Did you find the gem?
Oui, 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 on l'a.
Show me. Well, I'll be damned, that's the one. Then I suppose it's time for me to tell you some things about the temple. Maybe you've already heard the Enderalian legend about this place. It's said that this temple is alive, and that the entire forest is some kind of sensory organ of it. Heareth his whispers, sung from the trees, dreadeth his gaze, blah blah blah, you get the idea. Though most folk legends are superstitious nonsense, this one has a true core. The temple does indeed have a consciousness of some sort.
Mais
That
comment c'est
has,
possible?
however, less to do with some suicidal lover's tragic fates, but with a Pyrean defense mechanism. The Stone Heart.
D'accord, donc ce cœur de pierre rend le temple vivant, quoi. Mais comment ça marche?
It works because the Pyreans found a way to conjoin something immaterial with a human soul. That doesn't need to be a building like it is here. It can also be a sword or an amulet.
D'accord.
The bound ones, as those whose consciousness was transferred were called, suffered atrocious pain during the ritual, but when it worked, they practically achieved immortality.
Well, that's consoling.
It's a terrible fate, yes, but we all know that with the right religious blathering, humans can be convinced to do just about anything. However, don't get the wrong idea, these bindings were unusual. Not every Pyrean had a relative living in his frying pan, so to speak. Only a very few arcanists, mainly those of the Ishian caste, were able to perform them. In other words, bound places or objects were extremely rare. This temple is one of them.
En d'autres termes, il y a une conscience pyréenne qui demeure tranquillement dans ce temple.
I doubt that it's resting, witnessing the downfall of one's own civilization, and since then being forced to hang around in an extinct world hardly has a positive effect on one's sanity. But we'll see. Go ahead, put the gem in the socket over there.
Ok. Ça crée un pont.
I'll be damned.
Perfect. Then let's go, and keep your weapons ready. The under-train will be the lowest level of the temple. At least, if Lushishi's theories are true.
Lushishi. Vraiment, tu retiens pas les prénoms, toi. Ah, un mammouth. C'est par là qu'il faut aller. Le temple vivant.
One question, Meister Firespark. Why me?
Why what?
This is the third time that you've hired me, and my pay isn't exactly humble. Why?
What do you want to hear? A love song? You're a drunkard and a scrounger, but you do your work and you do it good. The day I put my faith in one of these god's lambs will be the day I dance naked through the upper city singing hymns of praise to the Lightborn.
I'd like to see that.
I'm sure you would. Now shut your mouth. Our entrance was everything but subtle, but we at least don't have to shout at this temple in the face, where it has to trigger the next trap. Blistering blazes. Does this never end?
Eh, il est fort ce Constantin. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce truc? Aïe aïe aïe. Bah allez-y. Qu'est-ce que vous faites? Oh putain. Non, laisse-moi tranquille. Aidez-moi, putain. Très stylé celui-là. Je porte trop de trucs. pas si c'est utile ça. Mhm.
A junction. Seems that we have to... wait a moment. There's something written here. Chuijara nem, Yoresa nem, gan, tila, bayara. Interesting.
Yes?
I'm translating. Lashery could do a better job with that. Age takes its toll, I suppose, but... I think that means something like... The warrior, the wise man, and the dark one together wield the light. And look at the inscription above the doorways. Chuijara, Hjoresa, Gandila. The warrior, the wise man, and the dark one.
Donc il va falloir se séparer.
At the end of each of these tunnels to go further to the light, whatever that is.
Brilliant deduction. That means we have to split up. Do you see the pressure plates in front of the doors? To me, it looks as if each of us has to stand on one to open the gates. I should take the path of the wise man. What about you, Joseph?
The warrior?
Good. That leaves you the path of the dark one. Off we go then. We'll meet again at the light. Come on, step on the pressure plates.
My door's open. Constantine?
Mine too. Then let's go.
Ok. Ah putain. Ça va pas en s'arrangeant. Ok. Je voulais passer safe, mais ça n'a pas marché. Ah, Jespar. Comment va?
There you are. Where is Bushybeard, though? Have you seen him somewhere?
Ben non, mais j'ai entendu un cri plus tôt dans le tunnel.
A scream? But... wait. Do you hear that?
C'est lui. Il est là?
That's his voice. He got here before we did, but he didn't wait. Why the heck would he do that?
Je sens qu'il y a un truc mauvais qui se passe là, si vous voulez mon avis.
Not really, no. Come on, let's take a look.
Putain. Mais merde! Hop. Mais c'est bon, allons-y.
Shijara, Nem, Lohem, Shiraz, gradually.
What the heck? Hello? Master Firespark.
Yorila, Den Shohen. Shujara, Nem, Jogen. Veto, 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 Veto. Shijara,
Qu'est-ce qui se
Nem,
passe?
Lohem, Shiraz. She showed me. She showed me. She showed me all.
De quoi est-ce que vous parlez? Qui vous a montré quoi?
The temple. She let me look through the window of time, and I saw it. All of it. The high ones, the light, the burnt flesh everywhere.
Vous avez vu les Éthérés?
Yes, and they're with us here and now, everywhere and always. And no matter what we do, we can't hide. Do you understand? We can't.
Meister, you're not yourself. Just calm down and we can...
No, stay away from me. You don't understand. You can't understand. She's so sad. So sad and so full of wrath because we chose to close our eyes rather than see. Because we refuse to understand.
Understand what? You're not making any sense.
That it's us. We are sin. Don't you see?
Oh merde.
There's only one way to end it.
What? No, no! Put that away! This is madness!
Madness? What we do is madness. This is the only way to break the cycle. One glance was enough to understand her suffering. To understand that there's no other solution than ultimate death. One day, you will understand that. You too, fleshless one. And now, we have to die. It won't change much. But maybe it will make her just a little happier. Forgive me.
Oh merde. Oh putain. Maintenant on doit se battre contre un pote.
But why?
Non, putain. Pourquoi on a fait ça? Jespar.
That was... What the heck? Why by the wise hermit would he do that? His eyes. I've never seen anything like that.
Peut-être que les Éthérés en ont pris le contrôle.
You mean he was possessed? I don't know. I always thought the possessed have a red shimmer in their eyes when it gets bad. He didn't. And what was that talk about making her happy? Did he mean the temple? My. This doesn't get better. We'll need to tell the Order about it. Now, let's push on. At least we should find this train. We owe Firespark that much.
Ouais. Est-ce qu'on ne pourrait pas au moins l'enterrer?
Yeah, you're right. Come on, let's find a shovel. Or something like that.
En vrai, je suis un peu triste. C'est triste. Mais il faut qu'on continue. Bon, Jespar,
What now?
on doit avancer. On a un train à trouver.
Such chaos.
À qui le dites-vous? Allez.
You hear that? Waves. Nature takes back what belongs to her. Let's hope the tunnels of this undertrain aren't flooded too.
Ah oui, oui, bien vu. J'espère aussi. Oreille.
Wait, I know that smell. Stay here.
D'accord.
Where did we find Yarrow's wife?
Quoi? Pardon?
Yarrow's companion. Where did we find her coffin? Please, just do me a favor and answer. Just do it.
Bah, dans la maison de son père, dans le cellier. Pourquoi cette question?
Then it really is you.
Quoi? Qu'est-ce que vous racontez? Qui d'autre je pourrais être?
Good question. Best you take a look for yourself. I'll wait here.
Quoi? What the fuck? Sirius? Et moi? Oh. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Une boîte à musique avec la même musique qu'on a entendue dans notre premier rêve avec notre papa. Chut. Je pense que le temple là il essaie de nous jouer des tours.
So, any explanations?
Je pense que ça doit être une illusion.
An illusion? Yes, of course. Created by this bloody temple. Or maybe even the High Ones.
Ouais, sans doute.
Yes, of course. That must be it. They're trying to confuse us. By their wise hermit, they'll do just about anything, won't they? This is just wrong. This is crazy. Ugh. Well, working with you is definitely an experience, to say the least.
Ouais.
We should push on, find that stupid train. I just want to get out of this place as quickly as possible.
Ah mais je suis d'accord. Il n'y avait pas moyen d'aller... Non. Tant pis. Mais attends, où est-ce qu'on est dans Enderal là? D'accord. Ok. Ouais, j'avancerai pas trop vite moi. Ah, Jespar. Ah merde, c'est trop lourd. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Ah merde, j'ai cru qu'il y avait quelqu'un. En tout cas, on a le train. Ah, de la vie. Et merde. Je suis trop lourd maintenant.
Bullseye. Seems like the water spared the train. It's beautiful in a way, don't you think? I bet every Arcanist would give his left hand just to get a look at it. And we're about to use it. Only thing left to do now is find out how. Seems to me that we first have to open this gate and reactivate the mechanism that powers this place. I'll take a look around. Try and find something that lets us open the gate.
D'accord. C'est peut-être avec ça, là.
This is crazy. Just crazy.
Ah. D'accord. Ah. Nickel.
Go on inside and take a seat, okay? I'll see if I can get the train running somehow. It can't be too hard.
D'accord. Me dis pas que je vais être bloqué. Merde. On n'a rien vu. Oui, je sais. Faut que je m'assoie, mais moi j'aime bien explorer. Bon, y a rien de plus à explorer de toute façon. Hop.
Ta-da! Yes, I'm amazing. I know that. If being a merc doesn't work out in the long run, maybe I'll ask the Order to hire me as an expert on Pyrean railways. But no guarantee this thing won't drive us right into the next abyss. Anyway, I guess even with this thing, it should be a while till we arrive. Let's make ourselves comfortable. Sorry for the drama back there at the house. I guess I just didn't know what to make of the situation.
Non, mais je vois pas pourquoi vous devriez être désolé, hein. Oui, pas plus que moi.
I figure all of this is just wrong. But I'm repeating myself. If the High Ones were planning to confuse us, they definitely succeeded. We really should tell the Grand Master about this, and about what happened to Constantine.
Bah oui, bien sûr.
Still, we can't allow this to get inside our heads too much. What matters right now is the mission. And at least it stays exciting. Two daring adventurers who have gotten themselves into something they don't even remotely understand are plundering ancient ruins in search of treasure. Don't laugh, but this reminds me a little of my past, of my childhood.
Alors, ouais, vous avez vraiment eu une enfance étrange.
Save for the crazed mages and the mysterious bodies, of course. My sister and I, when we were young, we always used to go exploring the caves near our manor. Father always gave us a good scolding when he got wind of it, but of course that didn't keep us from doing it again.
Vous avez une sœur? J'étais pas au courant.
Right, because I never told you. Adela and I are not exactly close these days anyway, probably because we lost our bond somehow, after our father died.
Votre père est mort? Prématurément, je suppose.
Yes, he did. Together with my siblings. Actually, Adela and I are the only surviving Delverics. All the others were murdered.
Assassiné. Ah merde. Je regrette de l'apprendre.
No need to be. But I appreciate the thought, so thanks. In a sad way, a part of me is actually glad everything happened the way it did back then. It made me into a man, and it showed me what kind of characteristics have a tendency to drastically shorten one's life.
Oui, c'est une manière de voir les choses. Mais à quoi vous pensez
Stubbornness. My father was a judge in the tribunal, you know.
Ah ouais?
He was a hard man, who at least, after our mother died while giving birth to Adela, lived for only one thing. His principles. Justice knows no compromise. That was his great creed. No matter who stood before him in court, my father treated them all the same. Damien Delveric, the epitome of justice.
Ouais. On dirait qu'il avait une manière extrême de voir les choses.
Yes, an extreme attitude for an extreme man. One day, the son of a highly regarded Archer Sublime stood before the 12 judges of the court. Valenzio Duran. He had murdered 2 whores, made them happy, as he called it, and it was obvious that he didn't feel so much as a hint of
Je
remorse.
suppose que comme c'est un aristo...
You know those kind of people. The ones who think that money and power entitle them to anything they want.
Oui. Oui, j'imagine déjà comment ça va se terminer.
Of course you can. 11 of the 12 judges voted for a verdict of not guilty, because they knew Valenzio's father was influential within the Relata. Only my father, of course, remained unshaken. 1 week later, our manor was robbed by 4 masked men who killed everyone. Servants, guards, my 2 older brothers, all of them. Officially, they were bandits, who just happened to be running around with blades made of shadow steel. My sister and I only survived because we had snuck out for one of our expeditions. Ironic, isn't it?
Non, c'est horrible.
Horrible? None of this is horrible. It was the only logical consequence of my father's actions. And what good did it do in the end? None. As we speak, Valenzio's enjoying himself in some brothel, with 2 whores and a bowl of grapes. But you see, there's no point in being angry about this. And do you know why? Because this is just how the world works. There's no divine justice, no system through which it's decided who lives and who dies. There are decisions and there are consequences. That's it. This is also why there's absolutely no point in fighting for ideals, the greater good, or whatever else you want to call it. First of all, because no one will thank you for it, and second, because people are stupid. That's the one universal rule that there is to this world. No matter how much you try to accomplish something. In the end, stupid people will destroy all you've achieved with no more than a snap of their fingers. Fight for the moment, and the moment only. Because unlike everything else, you can be certain of its truth.
Donc ce que vous dites, c'est que vous pensez que votre père aurait dû faire quoi? Rien du tout?
No, But if he had wanted Valencio to die so badly, there would have been other ways. Poison, an accident, a hired killer. Just a hint of common sense, that's all
Un
he
minimum de
needed.
bon sens.
But of course, none of that would have conformed to his sacred principles.
Bah ouais.
Adela and I were still young when all this happened. A friendly family took us in, and my sister joined the Order of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains.
Non, je
But
trouve
since
que
then, we
t'exagères
haven't been
là,
able to speak to
Jespar.
one another. She raised a wall of ice around herself, so to speak, and fled into old family books and memories. But, anyway, enough about me. You're an orphan too, aren't you? How come? You never told me about that.
C'est une longue histoire. Voyons par où je commence.
You told me that the Creator's temple in Ostian had something to do with it, but what exactly happened? Dreams. Yeah. I've had my share of nightmares too. There was this one that plagued me for years. I'd be in some kind of hall, almost like a temple. Only that there were benches and aisles, like in a courtroom. My father sat on the judge's dais. He was a corpse, and all the spectators and the jury looked like him. Anyway, there was this grotesque trial scene where he accused me of refusing to do my duty for them, and it always ended with his skin melting off like hot wax. Pretty messed up, I know. Eventually, the dreams stopped, though. Someone helped me with that. But anyway, enough of this gloomy talk for now. We should get some rest. We've still got a long ride ahead of us.
Ouais, ouais,
Good
ouais.
night. Rise and shine, my friend. We have arrived. How'd you sleep?
Je dois avouer que la sensation de découvrir son propre cadavre, ce qui s'est passé dans le temple, j'ai du mal à me l'enlever de l'esprit.
Well, for what it's worth, neither can I. Come on, let's take a look outside.
Le train s'est arrêté. Ah, je te suis, Jespar. Quoi? Quoi? Ah. Doucement, l'ami. Mais. Oh. Oh oh. Je suppose qu'on va devoir s'introduire dedans discrètement. Oh, ça c'est les couleurs de Nehrim. Donc c'est bien le camp des nerhiméens.
I'll be damned. This is Half Moon Isle. I can't believe it. And I guess that camp over there belongs to Taranor Coarek. I suggest we split up. That way we'll still have a chance if they catch one of us. Here, this is your plate. I'll try going in from the east. You should go in from the west. And don't get caught, or try to play the hero, alright? Considering that we're up against an entire army, that's a bad idea, even for someone with your abilities.
Ce serait quoi l'endroit idéal pour poser ma plaque?
Anywhere inside the camp. But of course an officer's tent, or maybe even Corek's, would be ideal.
Ok, ça marche. On y va.
We'll meet again here by sunrise.
Donc lui il passe par là, moi je vais passer par là. Oh. Discrétion on a dit. Discrétion. Je vois déjà quelqu'un ici.
And if they refuse, then it means war.
Merde. Qu'est-ce que je peux mettre?
Gods have befouled the world.
Quoi?
With their ignorance long enough.
You know, that would mean the deaths of thousands of innocents.
Comment est-ce que je vais faire pour être discret?
No idolizer is ever innocent. Religions are ideologies, and an ideology is a decision. Subjects who don't rebel against their tyrants are at least as guilty as the
Nickel.
tyrants themselves. But let's see what's going to happen. Who knows? Maybe that old fool Tarantia will listen to reason. For once.
Yeah, let's see.
Le camp est là. D'accord. Peut-être que par là c'est faisable. Il y a des bruits bizarres. Hein. Qu'est-ce que quoi?
Look at that.
Oh.
The urchin child who just won't stop struggling.
D'abord un rêve, maintenant ces animaux. Pourquoi ce jeu de marionnettes? Un face-à-face vous effraie?
Afraid? You amuse us, you know. How you refuse to give up. How you keep on fighting, even though deep down you know your struggle is futile. But still, you have come a long way. You have ignited the sigil stone, and you have found the beacon. And this, urchin child, this amuses us. Because nothing is more entertaining than a harvest which fights back. It makes things so much more exciting. So here's our offer. prophet. Ask us whatever is on your mind, and we swear to answer truthfully. Or you can leave. It's up to you.
Je sens une couille là. Ouais, c'est bien ça. Eh bien, commençons par cette question. Pourquoi croirais-je, même une seconde, que vous allez me dire la vérité?
That's up to you to decide. Come on, urchin. Ask or leave. In the end, you and your people will burn anyway. But sometimes, even the hope for deliverance alone has its merits.
Pourquoi moi? Pourquoi est-ce que je suis devenu un émissaire? Pourquoi est-ce que je peux entendre l'écho?
We know what you want to hear now. That you are special, that you have always been. But this is not true. You have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. And the truth is, you make our task easier. You are weak.
Cette machine, la balise, qu'est-ce que c'est?
It's just what you think it is. A weapon that allows you to bring an end to all this.
Alors, vous ne devriez pas avoir peur?
Fear, hate, joy. You assume we are thinking in human terms, Prophet. Yet, a true deity is more than a simple human able to throw fireballs, as your late Lightborn were. A true God is a state of being, and its existence alone forms reality according to its will. There were so many before you, and so many have found the weapon. Yet still we exist, and the cleansing is imminent. What does this tell you?
Ça ne change rien. Nous vous arrêterons quand même.
Lofty words. Hold on to the thought if it gives you strength.
Bon, pourquoi les Nehriméens sont-ils là?
They want to destroy the beacon. Amusing, isn't it? They are doing our work for us.
Mais pourquoi? Est-ce qu'ils sont au courant du cycle?
Yes, but they are naive. They believe that the cleansing is a good thing, and that we, the High Ones, have come to raise humanity to a higher stage. Evolution. That is what they call it. Just as the lizard became a dragon, and the bird became a myra. Their leader, Taranor Coarek, thinks he is one of the emissaries, just like you.
Ah ouais, d'accord. Et... Putain... Et c'est vraiment ce que vous voulez, nous élever à un niveau supérieur?
Are you so blind? We are the envoys of determination, the constant of being, before which time itself bows down. The dream of one long dead, which is about to become reality, and that will lead you to your doom.
Ça répond pas vraiment à ma question. Bon, j'ai pas d'autres questions.
Very well. Now shoo, continue your vain search, and forgive us for the pain.
Now!
Ah. Merde.
My lord, he is awake.
Splendid. May I introduce you? To your left there's Samael, my bodyguard, master of Ostian's arena for decades. And to your right, there's Blade Master Almus Ordan, the most gifted sword fighter of Nehrim's north and commander of my troops. Furthermore, there's an entire garrison of elite soldiers outside. So,
Can I trust you to not do anything stupid? I want to talk to you, face to face, as civilized people do.
Vous savez, j'adore les personnes civilisées. Surtout quand la conversation commence par mettre quelqu'un à terre, le bâillonner et lui bander les yeux.
Fair point. But you forgot to mention that this particular someone tried to sneak into my camp. I think we are square. By the way, we have captured your friend as well. He's in a tent up in the camp, and we will compare your stories, so you'd better stick to the truth. Samael, take off the blindfold. Well then, I am Taranor of Coarek's blood, former ruler of Kabiet, and now representative of the free peoples of Nehrim, which you undoubtedly already knew. Who are you?
Le Peuple Libre de Nehrim?
That is who we are, yes. The civil war is over, and Nehrim is once again united, free of tyranny and false gods. We don't follow a monarch anymore, and we do not pray to any idols, unlike people in this country. But we digress. Who are you?
Je m'appelle Gatuldar.
I see. And who sent you? And why?
Pourquoi toutes ces questions? Vous n'allez pas me tuer de toute manière.
Actually, no, I won't. Contrary to what you might believe, I am no butcher, and I don't kill for the fun of it. And even though I cannot guarantee you will survive this night, I promise that cooperation will increase your chances drastically. So, who sent you?
Personne. Nous sommes juste des chapardeurs.
Are you now? Odd place to go looking for treasure? I don't...
My lord, I think you should see this.
Of course. We have taken the liberty of stripping you of your belongings. If you'll excuse me for a moment, please. A silver plate. You're a spy. You know, only a stupid lamb lies to the wolf's face. Don't say I didn't warn you. Samael, perform your duty.
Attends, on va vraiment nous tuer, là? Excellent! Excellent! Putain! Ah, c'est trop bien! Bon, on reprend. Et puis c'est toi, on lui dit la vérité.
So, can I trust you to not do anything stupid?
Oh, c'est trop bien.
I want to talk to you, face to face, as civilized people do. Fair point.
Allez.
By the way, Samael. Well then, I am Taranor of Coarek's blood, former... That we don't follow a monarch anymore. I see. And who sent you? Actually, no. And even though I cannot guarantee you will survive this night, I promise that cooperation will increase your chances drastically. So, who sent you?
C'est le Saint Ordre. Ils veulent savoir pourquoi vous êtes là.
Just as I suspected. And how exactly...
My lord, I think you should see this.
Of course. We have taken the liberty of stripping you of your belongings. If you'll excuse me for a moment, please. A silver plate. I see. They were sent to spy on us.
Then let's kill them.
No. He was honest, and I am a man of my word. And actually... Actually, you have done us a favor. We can use the plates to present Aranthiel with our offer, without putting ourselves in danger.
What? How? What are these plates?
Old artifacts of the Pyreans. Their magic works like a sort of ear conch. Sounds are transferred from one plate to the other. And I strongly suspect that at this very moment, Taranor, Aranthiel, and Narathzul's traitorous heirs are gathered around the counterpart, waiting for someone to activate this plate. Aren't they? Samael, do you know how to use these plates?
Il parle pas.
Excellent. Then activate it. I will talk to old Aranthiel. Let's hope that he will listen for once in his life. Otherwise, this will end in disaster.
C'est pas très discret.
Taranor Aranthiel, I know that you are there and that you can hear me, so why don't we just stop playing games? As you wish, Grand Master. You can keep quiet, but you should be aware of who's going to pay for your arrogance.
Haven't you had enough war by now? After 2 decades?
2 decades of war that were necessary because your gods suppressed the people. Or would you deny even this?
Is that why you wanted to talk to me, Coarek? To throw around accusations?
No, that's not what I wanted. We are talking because I want to give you a chance. We know that you are fighting the High Ones, and that you're trying to reconstruct the beacon in order to stop them.
Which makes perfect sense, since the cleansing means the end of all life. Don't you agree?
No, I don't. And if you even remotely understood who the High Ones actually are, and what they represent, you wouldn't either. They are evolution, the ascendance of humanity to a higher level.
What?
Let's just face the facts for a moment. There's no evidence that the cleansing, whatever shape it will take, will be violent. Yes, the Pyreans are gone, but how do we know they've not just simply gone to another place? That they've transformed? The High Ones are not our enemies, Aranthiel. They are the next step of evolution, the envoys of our purpose, that we might become more than the simple-minded creatures we've been during the past millennia. This is what the cleansing actually is. Don't you understand? It's the moment when humanity is relieved of its vices, united, reaching a higher level of existence.
That's absurd.
Oui, complètement.
To you, it might sound that way, but I have seen it with my own eyes. Ever since the gods departed, the High Ones have sent me dreams in which I can see the future, and it's glorious.
Bah, ils vous manipulent,
It's not
quoi.
our destiny to stay human, Aranthiel. With their help, we will be gods, true gods, not the idols you have worshipped. It's the truth, whether you accept it or not.
Either. People are dying, Coarek. There's war all over Veen. The dead are rising from their graves, and people are killing each other for no apparent reason. Whatever you have dreamed, does this look like some kind of ascension to you?
I know about the red madness, but has it ever occurred to you that it follows a pattern as well? That it only befalls certain people?
Whom?
People whose thinking is in shackles. People whose minds are not free, and who are superstitious and ignorant. Such as the people in your country, to whom you have denied the truth about their gods.
What? Are you saying that the Red Madness only affects religious people? People who still believe in the Lightborn?
Yes. Religiosity is a pattern of thought that favors irrationality over reason. Someone who thinks in these patterns is simply not ready for the advancement, and the Red Madness is simply a way to sieve them out. A natural selection.
Il est très fort.
That's also why
On
you're
pourrait
not
presque y
affected
croire,
by it,
ce qu'il
Aranthiel,
raconte.
because you know that what you and your order fought so hard to keep up over the years were lies.
This is nonsense. There have been cases of Red Madness in the Order too, and we have seen what the cleansing will bring us in the dreams and in their chronicles, and it has nothing to do with some kind of ascension. Just listen to yourself, Coarek. You talk like a mad prophet. Is that what you want to be?
You react just as I expected. Very well, then. Will you at least hear our offer?
Speak.
The cleansing has to happen, and we, the free peoples of Nehrim, will make sure that it does. We will not allow your backward thinking to keep humanity from advancing, as it has done for centuries. Therefore, if you don't want a war, you will stop rebuilding the beacon, and you will tell your people the truth about their gods, so that then they, too, can ascend when the time has come. You've said it yourself, Aranthiel. This world has had enough war. Spare it yet another one.
I would if I could. But if these are your demands, then no.
Then we will have to force you. This means bloodshed, Aranthiel, and innocents will die. And all because...
This conversation is over.
Et nous, tu nous laisses tout seul.
Bloody fool.
C'est très sympa.
Alma, prepare the attack. He asked for it.
Putain.
Yes, my lord.
Et nous, on est coincés
What
ici.
happened to the prisoners?
The spies. Right. We're at war now, and this means you're my enemies. But as I said, I am a man of my word, and so I'll leave your fate to chance.
Vous êtes trop bon.
Put him to sleep, and then put him and his friend on a raft. If they survive,
Oh putain,
so
sur
be
un
it.
radeau.
If not, fair
On
enough.
va mourir. On va crever. Bon, on va s'arrêter là pour cette fois-ci. Je vous remercie d'avoir regardé l'épisode jusqu'au bout. Et puis, je vous dis à la prochaine pour le prochain épisode. Allez, à bientôt.